Hello, we are back. We are here at the Alzheimer's conference. We are going to be interviewing Miss Amanda of Alzheimer's Tennessee. We're going to ask her what does she do and everything that she do here at the Alzheimer's Tennessee. We'll be back in a few seconds, okay? Hello, we are back. We're coming to you live here at the Alzheimer's conference. This is Dr. Mike Cho, physical therapist, and I'm here with Miss Amanda of Alzheimer's Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And we're going to ask her what does she do in Alzheimer's Tennessee, what are the different services that they provide, and everything like that. So, Miss Amanda, could you please tell us who you are again, what you do? And you are so busy. You are all over.
I'm all over the
I
world,
know.
I tell you.
Mhm.
Alzheimer's Tennessee, I'm the regional director here in West Tennessee, which a lot of people say, well, is your office here in Jackson? Well, it's wherever my car is that day,
know.
truthfully. We actually are over all 21 counties of West Tennessee, so we are moving and shaking. But Alzheimer's Tennessee is a resource centers for families. You know, a lot of folks, when they get the diagnosis, they don't know the first step. You know, they've just got the diagnosis. They're trying to maybe accept or swallow that at the beginning and be like, what do we do? And so we encourage families to come, and we truthfully, we follow them from diagnosis to, unfortunately, the end of that disease, because as of today, we don't have a cure for Alzheimer's. That's why we do what we do every day. We want to educate, we want to fundraise, we want to promote awareness. And that's what Alzheimer's Tennessee does. So we are that local resource that will provide a support group, a training, be like we are today, provide a conference and things like that. So we're just thankful to be a part of that.
Amazing. Well, let's step back a little bit. So could you please tell me what is Alzheimer's? A lot of, we're streaming this in their Alzheimer's and dementia support group. That's the most question. Hey, what's the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff like that?
Right.
Could you please tell me? I know, but
I'm going to give you the easiest version. Okay. The easiest version. If I had an umbrella, okay, and the umbrella was something we call dementia. And I'm going to just say dementia is a type, or Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. So this umbrella has 120 plus different types, from Parkinson's disease to Lewy body disease to Pick's disease. There's so many different types of dementia. But unfortunately, Alzheimer's disease is the leading form. So it's 75% of that. So we learned today that, dementia is fatal. It's a terminal diagnosis, but Alzheimer's is that form. So I tell folks all the time, when you think about dementia, we can age with dementia. Alzheimer's disease, unfortunately, has so many different facets. We may lose the ability to our logistic part. So our day-to-day functions. We may lose the ability to reason. We may lose the ability to take care of our daily hygiene needs. We may lose the ability to follow a recipe or follow directions. I'm working with a family as of we speak today, right now. He's here. He's at the conference, and his wife is lost in town, and he's trying to tell her how to get to where she is. So we work with law enforcement too. Let's go through that, because that's another part when they come into that, and with our churches and things like that. But dementia is a form, or Alzheimer's is a form. I get so tongue-tied today. Alzheimer's is a type of dementia, and it's the leading form. Well, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
We could go and have another viewing with another show and really dig in.
We need
but
to do
just
this,
basic.
right?
The basic is dementia, and then you've got so many different types.
Perfect. Thank you very much for explaining that. So what is the first sign? Is it memory loss?
I think it is. I think it's memory loss. I think most of the time our care partners or our spouses or our children are like, that's just not normal. Mom was always dressed to the nines.
There you go.
And now we're having a little bit of an issue. Maybe she's not as put together as she used to. Or a friend of mine her mother was an avid baker, and they had kind of taken the roles away. Not as, everybody wanted to help mom, and so she was a baker. So her role was the desserts on Sunday, and how her children found out is a cup of sugar and a cup of salt look the same.
Oh yeah.
And so they tasted this piece of pie that day, and they were like, "This is not right.
It's not pie."
And it was so bitter. And so they were like, "Mom, is that a mix-up?" No, there's nothing wrong with my pie. And so that was just a way they started financially, not being able to balance your checkbook, maybe not being able to keep up with appointments and dates and getting lost with directions. That's kind of that basic thing. I always tell people, if you walk into a room and you don't know what you're there for, but you walk out and you come back in, you remember, that's just stress, right? Or if you lose your keys, that's us every day. If you lose your keys and you find your keys, but you don't know what to do with your keys to get in your car, that's an issue, because we lose our keys all the time. Where do we lay them down when we come in the house? Where do we lay them down? So I think that basic stuff would just be basic everyday survival stuff, which would make sense to be like, oh, well, this isn't right. And then we need to go in and we need to start working with our physicians to say, is it a deficiency in vitamins? Are we having urinary tract infections? Is there something else going on? Because I told a lady today at the booth, I said, we're not going to call it something until we know.
That's true.
Because vitamin D, vitamin B12, mini strokes. I mean, they get a family that we've dealt with several years ago. He had a tumor, and we didn't even know.
And that could mimic dementia too.
Yes, he was having all of these symptoms that we kind of thought that could have been that.
There you go. I like what you said, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important that you, well, let's go back to the diagnosis, to dementia and Alzheimer's. So like what you said, the dementia is the symptom. It's like an umbrella. Underneath that umbrella, you got the Parkinson's, you got the stroke, you got, she said, Pick's disease, you got the Alzheimer's disease. That's number one cause of the Alzheimer's of dementia. So she also mentioned about what you call the reversible type. There's what you call irreversible, which is the Alzheimer's, which is the stroke, which is the Pick's. Those are the irreversible, and there are also reversibles like UTIs. You already mentioned it.
Yes.
UTI. What you call tumors, medication, and those are what you call reversible types of dementia, and those are treatable. In even the UTI itself, those are treatable. So it's very important that you check, go to your physicians and everything. Miss Amanda, so how can they reach you? First, do you go to their homes? Do you talk to them over the phone? Do they have a hotline, or do you go to
There's so many
do you have a
different
clinic?
ways.
How does Alzheimer's Tennessee work?
Yeah, there's so many different ways now. We can be reached by the phone, which our phone number is 731-694-8065. You can go to our website, which is alztennessee.org, and you can find a wealth of information on the website. You can call, like I said, you can call us. We do have an office, but like I said earlier, my office is where I am. And so we do come and do home visits. We've got a lot of folks that'll say, will you just come sit at our kitchen table? We'll tell you what the doctor has told us. We'll work with our families. We need a plan. We need a map. What does this plan look like for the next 6 months to the next 5, 8, 10 years?
That's
Who knows
right.
what we're doing with? And so that's the easiest way is call me and we'll set up a time to meet.
Perfect.
So we don't really have a clinic. We have an office. It's in Jackson. But I don't really use that as a meeting place because it's really storage and it's where we are. So I really like the concept of Alzheimer's Tennessee because we focus so much on being local that I want to meet you where you are. And I tell the story a lot of times that several years ago, I was the director in Cookeville over in that area. And there was a lady that called me, and it was before we were getting ready to load up for the day. And she panicked. She called me, and you could just tell she was so distressed. And she said, I've only got 2 hours. She said, I'm trying to get to the grocery store. I'm trying to do the errands. I'm trying to do everything, but I don't even know where to start. My husband's got the diagnosis. We're seeing a rapid change. What's going on? I don't even know where to go. Well, I'm, of course, in the background getting all my things together. And I said, well, tell me what grocery store you're at. And she said, I'm at Kroger. I'm in the frozen food aisle. And I said, well, stay there. And so we're continuing. I'm 2 minutes away from the office from Kroger. So I'm getting in the car and I'm driving in. And I'm not saying this to toot Amanda's horn by no means. I'm not tooting Alzheimer's Tennessee. Well, maybe I am Alzheimer's Tennessee.
We need to.
But we meet you where you are. I walked every aisle of that store. And we
looking
talked
for
about
her.
no, we talked about resources.
Mm-hmm.
So I found her in the frozen food
There you
aisle.
go.
And we talked about resources. We talked about things that she needed to ask at her
Mm-hmm.
doctor's appointments. We talked about how that she could have
Mm-hmm.
got services into the home. And
Mm-hmm.
she looked at me and she said, "You literally came to the grocery store." And I said,
Mm-hmm.
"That's what we do." So I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be in our office.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, if we need to have a meeting somewhere, let's go have a meeting.
yeah.
That's fine. But that's just where we are. We want to stay local. We want to take care of our people here.
And of course, meeting where they're at, whether physically, emotionally,
Yes.
and spiritually.
Yes.
All right. Again, thank you very much, Ms. Samantha. This is such an amazing conversation. Again, where can they reach you again? Where can they, and in what
731.
area? What area do you go to?
Oh, all
Mhm.
21 counties of West Tennessee.
Wow.
So 731-694-8065.
All right. Again, thank you very much, Miss Amanda. Appreciate you. But before I let you go, always remember the word fast. FAST. Letter F. Find people that will bring out the best in you because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So if you need friends that will help you with your Alzheimer's loved ones, people who needs help, reach out to Miss Amanda.
Please call
Go
us.
to their website, alzheimerstennessee.org. Okay. Next letter A. Take action. All the stuff that we're doing is not going to do me good. It's not even going to do her good if you don't take action. I'm not getting paid. She's not getting paid. We just do this because we want to help you guys. Take action. Go to their website. Reach out to her. Call her number because it may not be applicable right now, but it could be applicable in the future. Okay. Next letter is letter S. Share and subscribe. Share Alzheimer'sTennessee.org. She's got amazing events coming up soon. Could you please share it? Share that.
Well, the next one here is in Jackson. It's going to be on October the 20th. We have a free workshop that's coming up. You can go to alztennessee.org /learn for a list of those. We've got one tomorrow in Chester County. If you're in Henderson, we're there tomorrow.
So you have one in Parsons too,
we
right?
do. That was yesterday. We had one in Parsons yesterday. And these are caring and coping workshops. You get to sit down and we get to talk about practical suggestions, challenging behaviors. What's the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia? What questions do we need to ask? But then we're going to target it towards the caregiver. Caregiver fatigue is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Burnout. I don't know what to do. They're not taking care of themselves, so they're not being the best caregiver they can be. You know, if we exhaust ourselves, then we're not the best of our version, right?
Yep.
So go to alztennessee.org /learn, and you'll find all that information too.
I love what you said about caregiver burnout because you cannot give what you do not have, ladies and gentlemen. Self-care is not selfish.
Huge.
It's what's called caregiving. They even have to change the name of caregiver. They need to change it to care partners because when you're giving care, you're losing what you have. And it's very important that you have something, just like money. I cannot give money to Miss Amanda if I don't have money myself. Well, I don't have money myself, but you know what I mean? Same thing with food. I can't give food to my daughter or my kids if I don't have food myself. And same thing with caregiving. You need to take care of yourself. And this is where Alzheimer's Tennessee comes in. They're going to teach you how to manage your stress, how to manage burnout, and at the same time, taking care of yourself. And then for you to be able to take care of your loved ones who's experiencing Alzheimer's and dementia. We cannot change the trajectory of Alzheimer's and dementia on your loved ones. You know, I'm not a medical doctor. She's not a medical doctor. You know, even medical doctors can't even change it because it's a terminal disease, like what she said. But if you can change your behavior towards that patient, towards that client, you change the whole world.
That changes a lot. Oh, it changes a lot.
Again, thank you very much, Miss Amanda. Appreciate you. Any last parting wisdom for our friends who are watching right now?
Well, just thank you so much. And make sure that you do reach out to services because, you know, we can talk all day long about how the information that we have, the services that we have, the research that we have, or we're working on this clinical trial or we're doing this. But if you don't come and say, I need help, I don't know. You don't know. We don't know where people are. And it's like, don't be afraid. Don't be maybe isolated because I think that's the worst thing we can do is when we isolate ourselves. I'll take care of you. You take care of me and we're okay. No, you will have so much more support to rally around you when you start asking. And you'll be surprised you're not alone in this disease.
So true.
When you
so
say
true.
that you have it, somebody else is going to say, oh, my neighbor has it. Or, oh, my loved one has it. So you're not alone.
You are not alone. Just like, who's that? You.
I was going to say, we could start singing that. I don't
right?
even know who sings that.
I think it was Michael Jackson.
You are not. Oh, we're not going to start singing.
All right. So speaking of that, I know we have fun here, but yes, that's true. You are not alone, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Sometimes you feel like you are alone, but if you don't have any family members who's supporting you, you need the Alzheimer's Tennessee to help support you. You know, bring out the best in you, and that way you can change. If you change yourself in your approach to Alzheimer's and dementia clients, you're going to change them too. All right. Again, thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you so much.
Be
It's always
awesome.
fun.
Well, we got to do this again, right? Be awesome, be great, be excellent. We'll see you again on the next episode of the Alzheimer's Show. Bye-bye.